So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how the AI shift can actually benefit growing marketing agencies compared to the ones who are losing and dying, mainly because of two key reasons: the competition and just simply not understanding how to use AI to its proper core functions. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Luke. I'm the current founder and CEO of Evolve Enterprises, a performance marketing agency in the UK, working across a portfolio of clients in the US and the UK. So let's just continue and look at the numbers that are in based on the AI shift nowadays. So based on 2026 results, we have found that 53% of agency owners are actually feeling threatened by the shift in AI. And what this means is they're actually feeling like their position as a company will be disrupted in a negative fashion just based on the growth of AI. And this has changed from 44% just 1 year ago. That's crazy to say. In 2025 it was 44%, now it's 53%. Now let's look at AI adoption based on the amount of people who have started using AI in a core function of their business based in 2026. So 78% of businesses are now using AI in a core business function that they use every day, compared to 55% the year before. So this is changing rapidly, and we are on an upward pace to be using AI every single day as a norm. Now let's look at the market reality of $9 billion. That is a crazy number. Now, the agentic AI market is projected to reach $9.14 billion in 2026, which is this year, with agencies that adopt it pulling further ahead of those that do not. Now this is simple. If the market size is that big and that increasingly growing from 55% to 78% and from 44 to 53%, if it's growing that rapidly, you should definitely listen to what I have to say today. Now, so go to the bottom here. The agencies that embrace AI are winning. There's no doubt about that. But the agencies that resist it aren't just behind, they're actually losing clients. There's no middle ground left in 2026 anymore. And I'm going to talk to you about why. Let's move to the next slide here. So there's two types of agencies. There's the stuck agency that hasn't developed AI, and there's the growing agency. Let's talk about the differences between these agencies. A growing agency uses AI to automate reporting, follow-up, and content delivery, so it costs less and capacity can increase. Now let's keep going. I'm not gonna talk too much about each section. I don't want this to feel a little bit rushed, so I'm just going to talk about the key points that I find on these two types of agencies. So a growing agency also packages AI tools as part of the service and manages to charge higher for it. And this isn't because it is less value, but it actually provides much more value through using AI tools as a part of the service. Now, with a growing agency, you also onboard clients faster and more efficiently. They have more time for strategy and client relationships because they're using tools through AI. Now, currently in 2026, we don't have AI employees. We only have agents and tools that we can use. So as long as it is man with tool, we will always grow faster than just machine against man, if that makes sense. A growing agency also has a better position as an expert because they know which tools to use, and they make themselves harder to replace just by adding more value every single time they are using AI. And that's as simple as that is. And it's not because they're cheating, and it's not even cheating in any sort of way. If you're a mechanic and a new, better, more efficient tool comes out to use, you would be stupid not to use that tool to provide more value to the customer in a more efficient manner, and also provide more value to the customer. Now that only makes sense, but why would it not be the same for an online business, for example, like an e-commerce store? If they see a new tool, which is like an AI analytics tracker, and they weren't using it just because it was AI, you would be missing out on lots and lots of money. And some people have a negative view of AI. Fine, stay behind. That's not my problem. Now let's look at a stuck agency and why they do stay behind. So a stuck agency is still doing everything manually and wondering why margins are shrinking every quarter. And that's not just because of lost clients, but because of the efficiency and the cost that is doing everything manually compared to using the tools that save so much time and money. Now, afraid to introduce AI because clients may think that they're cutting corners or reducing effort. If you give your clients 10 times the value and save yourself 10 times the time, then they would have no reason but to say this is the best idea you've ever had. Now, they're losing clients to agencies who deliver the same outcome faster and lower cost to themselves. Now, if an agency is using AI in a better fashion and in a more efficient manner, as any client or any business would see that, they would think, well, it's an obvious decision just to move to the agency that is providing it in a better fashion. Now, spending hours on reporting, follow-up and admin that could be automated in minutes. It's so unfortunate we still see people doing everything manually when it could be done in a couple of seconds or minutes through AI. And I'm not just here just to say, AI is amazing, it can do everything, it can't do everything, it has its limitations, but if you're not adopting it into your business currently, then you are going to be behind for a long while, and indefinitely into the future, I have to say, because from the foreseeable future right now, AI is the future, and if you do not adopt to it, then you will stay behind, and the businesses that don't will not surpass any business that is actually currently using AI. Competing on price because they cannot articulate why their process is worth paying for. If you're a business competing on price instead of value, you're not a business, you're just doing a favor. It is not a business if you have to compete on price instead of value because you cannot articulate the value that you're providing. It is so important that you understand the value that you're providing to your customer so that you can articulate that and actually showcase what value it is going to be for every single customer that you talk to, including marketing agencies and local service businesses. Every customer that you deal with, you must articulate the value that you're showcasing. And if you don't learn that skill, you will not be able to showcase the value that you're providing to your clients. And it's super important. Now let's move on to the next slide. I know that was quite a lot of information there. If you want to save any info, feel free to screenshot or pause the video here, make some notes down. Same with this one here. 2 different slides there. Now let's continue to slide 3 or 4. So what AI actually replaces inside of your agency? So here, AI handles this side of all of the tasks, but you still own these sides of the tasks. Now I'm going to go through each side and show you what sides you still own and what sides AI will handle. Now, AI will handle monthly reporting and performance summaries for clients that you work with. Now, you will still own the strategy, the positioning, and deciding where the budget actually goes, say it's for advertising or for the client's budget in total for the marketing. Now, lead follow-up, sequences triggered by inquiry or a form submission, that's a sequence that is simple and AI can handle it. I don't know why I stuttered there. But you still own the client relationships, the trust, and understanding their business deeply rather than just a sequence and a form submission. AI can handle ad copy drafts, it can handle headline variations and creative briefs if it's for advertising, but you still own reading campaign data, making the call that it moves performance rather than just looking at all the analytics. You handle the decision making still. AI cannot do that. Now, client onboarding, intake and briefing documents and welcome sequences must be automated because it will make the client onboarding experience much more efficient and a much smoother and seamless experience for the client. Now, you still own the fact whether you understand which tools to set them up with and why, because you understand that client more than the AI possibly could, unless you train it specifically. Now, basic content scheduling and social media calendar management is still something an AI will handle, and most of social media now will be managed by AI. So if you are looking to hire a social media manager, it would be best right now to look into what AI options there are inside of your business instead of hiring an employee who will handle social media, because AI is so advanced now with social media, it is everywhere. But you will still handle the judgment that separates a good agency from an average one from what you can see on social media. You still handle that judgment. AI cannot handle it because they do not have that human point of view and that human connection with other humans and other human customers. They only have AI analytics and moving with positioning and stuff like that. Okay, now if you see this quote here, the agency that uses AI well does not do less, and that's super key. They do more of the work that actually matters to their clients. If you're using AI, it may feel like you're working 10 times less, but you're providing 10 times more. And I know it's a weird thing because we have worked for centuries, well, I haven't personally, but for years and years and years and years, people have been under the idea that more work you do, the more value you will produce. But nowadays, with the machines and the tools that we have, we can now do 10 times less work and still provide 10 times more value than we would have without the tools. And it's a crazy world we live in now. But let's continue. And that was what actually replaces in your agency, what AI actually replaces in your agency, compared to what you still own. Let's continue. So these are the 4 areas to automate first, and they're in order. So client reporting, feel free to pause the video and take notes here as well. You will want to automate client reporting because it is the most easiest section to report. Okay, obviously there are some sections that you will still have to do manually, but having an AI to automatically pull data from a dashboard, that's so easy, and it's just a simple sequence that will make the client experience and save you so much time, so much more efficient. Now let's look at section 2, lead follow-up. A follow-up sequence is so easy to set up, and an AI can save you so much time just through a follow-up sequence. Now, ad creative production, like I was saying with social media and ad creatives, you can create a perfect ad creative all throughout AI now. We're at that section. AI designs are so far ahead, and I'll show you which tools you can use after this slide, but you can use tools like Canva, you can use tools like Claude, you can use any sort of AI tool like Nano Banana even on the Ads Studio for Google Ads. You can even create seamless, like pretty much picture photorealistic images through AI. It's crazy now the advancements that we're at. Now, ad creative production is super seamless, and it will allow you to save so much time in the future. Now, with client onboarding, you will be able to, like I've already said, seamlessly improve the process that a client has to do and improve the conversion rate just through the onboarding process that you have by introducing AI and the AI tools that you have available to yourself. Like I said, I will talk about AI tools soon. I don't know if it's after this slide. Yes, it is. Here we go. So, CRM. We have Go High Level, Follow-Up, and Funnels. Incredible. So Go High Level is a CRM tool, which is basically a platform for everything. You have funnels, CRM, lead follow-up, everything inside of there for your workflows and your automations. Same with Zapier, same with Make.com. Zapier is mainly for connecting all your tools together, and Make.com is for advanced automations and just making sure everything flows seamlessly. Now you also have for content and copy, Claude, absolutely brilliant platforms, probably the best AI I've ever used. Go High Level is less AI, it's more of just tools. For ChatGPT, it's okay. I would use it for ad copy and a couple briefs, but that's about it. It's not too advanced, I haven't found. For Canva AI, they have incredible design features. I love Canva AI. I personally use it every single day just because of how easy and seamless it is for, say, social media and creating ad creatives and testing which ones actually perform for stuff like meta ads and client work and designs and flyers, all sorts. Canva AI works perfectly. Now let's look at reporting and data. So we have Looker Studio, which is for live client dashboards. We have Agency Analytics for automated reports, and Databox for KPI tracking, which is key performance indicators for your clients. Now, with all of these tools together, you just need to pick one from each category and build it into your delivery process. Don't try focus on all of these tools and feel like you have to master every single one. And as a marketing agency, you need to understand that you need to choose one service and become an expert at that one service to provide it to your clients to give out the best value. It's the same with these tools. Choose one from each category and become a professional in each, and then you'll actually understand what value you will actually get from each tool. So you may find that Go High Level is far better than Zapier for automation, but then you may find that Claude is just 10 times better than ChatGPT in every other way. But a lot of the time I use Claude and Canva at the same time, even though they're in the same category. It just depends down to what you actually believe is best for your own fit. And obviously for Looker Studio, Agency Analytics, and Databox, you will have to just test what works best for your analytics and for your reporting and your data so that you understand what works best for you. And obviously everyone is different, but just play around with it, see what works for you, and try it out. That's all I ask. And you'll really see how much time you can save. Now let's continue. How to position your agency around AI. So this is a really interesting slide. So we have 3 different types. So we have the tool user, the person who just kind of uses AI as a tool. And I've been here before. Most of the time I worked in my agency, I was basically just the tool user. What this means is I was using AI privately, not really talking about it, and just using it to save me time every now and again. Now, the AI integrator, this is kind of where the level I'm at now, is where I'm building AI into the services that I'm using and charging for it, because I'm seeing the value and the extra value that I'm giving to my clients. I'm actually charging for it just because I found that it helps so much more with the value that I'm providing. It actually helps them reduce the churn rate, which is the amount of clients that are leaving on me, and massively improves the retention just because of how seamless the experience is now and the 10 times value that I'm actually providing just by offering AI and building it into the services that I'm providing. Now, this is where I'm not necessarily at now, is where positioned as an expert, where you're personally positioned as an expert for AI. So everything you do is positioned around an AI expert. If someone needs anything to do with AI, you're the person they call, and you're the instant message they go to because you're the AI guy. I'm not at that point yet, but you may be there, and it is a great position to be at nowadays because you will be key and you will be needed for so many businesses if they're trying to master AI. Now I am on my road there, and it's not necessarily a position everyone wants to be in, but it is a service that you can offer at high ticket prices right now. Something to keep in mind, I suppose, but that's how you can position your agency around AI. The tool, the service, or the expert who only uses AI. Let me know what you think would work best for you. Drop it in the comments below and I'd love to hear your feedback. Anyway, let's continue to slide 8, the final slide. So AI lets you charge so much more instead of less. Alright, let's look at these examples here. So the standard retainer with no AI positioning, we have the core service delivery for £800 per month, we have the monthly reporting included, we have the client communication included, and we have the hours spent per client, 18 hours. Perfectly fine, that's a normal amount. And then the monthly revenue is £800, that's fair. Now, for core service delivery on the AI integrated retainer and positioned a little bit more correctly, we have core service delivery, £800, the exact same. Now we have the AI reporting and dashboard, so it's much more advanced. We charge an extra £200 per month for that. This isn't me personally, this is just an example. Automated follow-up system, an extra £250 per month, totally fair again. And that's only for 9 hours per month of work. And I don't know if you noticed, but this is completely splitting in half the amount of time you spend per client, just based on using AI and integrating AI. Because if you think about it, for AI reporting and dashboards and for automated follow-up system, all of this is actually automated. These 3 is automated, so you save time on this task here, monthly reporting, and you actually add on extra value for less time. So you're almost splitting your hours spent per client in half and actually almost doubling the amount of revenue that you're getting per client just through the retainer that you're charging. Now, this may feel a little bit shocking for a lot of people watching. They may think, ooh, does this feel right though? Is this the right thing to do? Yes, you're providing more value, but you need to make sure and you need to look down into the operations of your business and what you're actually providing if it is adding value to the clients that you're working with. And that's all I have to say. Now let's continue to the last slide on what you should do this week. So I know I've just given you a lot this video and there's a lot to really consume and take in, but if you just map your manual tasks and look at what you're currently doing, just automate one thing of that task. And then once you've done that and you've saved a bit of time there, then add it to your offer. Add some of the AI skills you've learned from automating one thing in your daily processes and add it as an offer for your current clients, and then increase that retainer, like I've just shown in the examples. But if you need help through this, and you need help building AI-powered systems inside of your current operations, inside of your marketing agency, or if you would just like help and guidance just based on your current situation, feel free to book a free strategy call. The link will be in the description, and you can book a call with me for about 30 minutes and I'll break down everything you need to know about your current operations. Anyway, I won't take any more of your time, but I really appreciate you watching and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.